You have found the Titus Podcast Armageddon Update with hosts Christopher Titus, Rachel Bradley, and Ken Highland. And now, here's Christopher Titus with this week's Armageddon Update.
I'm Christopher Titus, people, and this is the Armageddon Update. You know, it's another year of news in a week. God, this week, a prison surrounded by predators was built in the Everglades to house people trying to get the American dream. And another predator who's been in prison was found not guilty on sex trafficking charges, but was found guilty of transportation to engage with prostitutes for sex. Yes, those are pretty much the same words, just in a different order. Welcome to the American justice system. The jury in the Sean Combs trial found that what Puffy pulled and was put in a penal place for and prosecuted for wasn't so bad. The defense defended Diddy, describing Diddy as definitely didn't do what devastated witnesses described Diddy definitely doing. Then, our diaper-wearing dictator, Dumb Don, has started building concentration camps. Trump camp. That's right. This summer, you can go to the desert. It's like the beach, but you can't cool off because there's absolutely no water. Trump camps. Alligator Auschwitz is a detention center for immigrant gang members, murderers, drug traffickers, fruit pickers, car wash employees, gardeners, pool cleaners, hotel workers, and busboys. You know, the most dangerous among us. So to you who hate immigrants, I want you to enjoy your $6 apple in your dirty car while you scratch the infected scabies you caught from your filthy hotel room while you vomit and shit yourself from the E. coli you got from the disgusting restaurant that can't seem to find anyone to clean the kitchen. America first! And to you fat, fake, dumpy, douchebag, dad body bounty hunters snatching people off the streets without charges or warrants, that's over, because from here on out, we're going to stand our ground. Cool? Cool. See you out there. Now, I could continue to go down the satanic list of un-American and unconstitutional fascist and authoritarian rules and laws this malignant felon mouth breather is imposing on America. But let's just deal with his big bullshit bill. This is the signature piece of legislation that has either been passed since we recorded this, or the person that killed the bill has had some pictures of them having sex with a donkey released to the nation. Because Epstein's barnyard files are just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to do this quick because of time. If the big bullshit bill has passed, here's what it will do. The Congressional Budget Office said it will add $3 trillion to the debt, $4 trillion in tax cuts. A Yale Budget Lab analysis indicates that the bill would reduce incomes for poor households while increasing incomes for the rich. The lowest 20% of households would see their income reduced by 3%, while the top 20% could see their income increase by 2.5%. That means poor people will lose about $700 a year. However, the rich are going to make an extra $30,000, and I am so happy that the people with all the money are going to get some help. I hope they make it through this time of not paying for the society that made them rich. You poor people with nothing, you're used to it. Keep stepping up, poor people. Suck it up. You got this. Yale said the bill will raise interest rates. GDP growth will slow. Inflation will go way up. Kids will go hungry. And the cuts in medical care and research will kill a lot of Americans because Republicans kill Americans. It's the biggest transfer of wealth in American history. Reports by Yale and others say 51,000 people a year will die because of the cuts to Medicaid. Another report says the big bullshit bill could lead to, again, 51,000 additional deaths annually. And that's a report from the Senate. Here's a breakdown of the estimated deaths. Medicaid and ACA coverage loss, 11,300 dead. And now they have a work requirement to get medical care for people who can't work because they need medical care. Prescription drug subsidy loss for seniors, 18,200 dead. So this year, make sure you have this last Thanksgiving with Grandma. Enjoy it. Nursing home staffing rule delays, 13,000 dead. Say goodbye to Grandpa too, or let him move in, which you probably should do anyway. Loss of the ACA, 8,811 dead. So when you get sick, your health care will be eat another $6 apple. Oh, wait, you can't afford an apple because the big bullshit bill screwed you. That's a bummer. So tell your great grandkids when they're saddled in debt, are living in a world with no jobs or opportunity, you tell them, what the hell am I talking about? With this bill, you're not going to live to see your grandkids. It's my bad. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I can't even believe we're here. And we could have had the smart black lady would have been fine. You know, she would have just kept it going. Stock market keep going up. Jobs still flowing. Inflation keep dropping. Everybody happy and taken care of. Kids, cancer research funded. But no, you fuckers had to vote in the guy that's going to bend you over and bang you till you're dead. Hi, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. You know, in a world of nightmare, in a world where nobody wants to fly, you got get a little crazy. So let me just be very clear, Seal. In a world,
nobody wants to fly. I was like, what?
Get a little crazy. Never gonna survive
Unless
we get a little crazy.
Zabba-zoop-im diddy said.
So,
denied bail.
So he got denied bail. Diddy, they it's such a weird. I read it today and I put it in Armageddon. Oh, great. With me as always, by the way, the lovely bombshell, Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
Look at me, one.
When I wrote the Armageddon update.
Oh, wait, somebody wanted you to do that, like Clint Eastwood, so he would have to do it.
Okay, right. With me as always, lovely bombshell, Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
Pick up the gun.
That was terrible.
There can be only one.
Do your bit that you did when Grandma would play cards with us, and especially right before she died, he was trying to make her laugh. And he said, you know, Clint Eastwood is in his 90s now, but he still talks like that. He still talks like Dirty Harry.
Even more.
So he would do the bit of Clint Eastwood in the nursing home.
Yeah.
I have to poop.
No, he said he would tell Grandma, I just made a poopy. That's what he said. My grandma, you guys would laugh.
I
so
just
hard.
made a boom boom in my pants.
Go ahead, make my bed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyway, he got denied bail.
I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
Did we have tapioca?
It's weird when you laugh, but your lips are still like that.
Puff Daddy got
Diddy
do
Daddy?
Dirty Money.
No.
Diddy done did.
Diddy.
Diddy. Is it just Diddy now? You don't remember how many names he had? I made fun of it in the Armageddon update. There's too many names. At one point, if you listen, you should be producing records. Stop making up fucking names.
This should have been a clue. You know when you keep changing your name?
Yeah.
You are a
It's
criminal,
called an
dude.
alias.
Exactly.
It's called it. So here's what happened. So he got acquitted on the sex trafficking charges, got acquitted on the racketeering charges. They said he's not guilty. And then they got him for transporting prostitutes for sex. Isn't that sex trafficking? It's just a different word.
Yeah. Wait.
It just seems like different words.
Transporting
No.
people for sex.
No, just transporting prostitutes across state lines is very different from trafficking people for sex.
Across state lines.
Trafficking means that, you know what trafficking means?
Yeah, I live in LA.
Yeah, we got a ticket. And for parking in the wrong place. Looking for sex.
Only Ken.
Ken has moved to North Hollywood, and obviously has made new friends. So Diddy is they denied his bail. They denied.
Of course they did.
Well, but
He's violent.
Because it could be, and I heard this on the way over. Did you hear this? His own defense attorney said, "Yeah, we agree that he did beat the crap out of those women," but domestic violence.
Well, I heard that. They meant that throughout the trial, their strategy was to not lie and go, he wasn't violent. They were just like, he did it, but it was just a domestic violence dispute between two people, not a sex trafficking situation.
Right.
That was their whole point.
Yeah. He didn't steal any motorcycles or bikes or car, but he did beat the shit out of some women. So they're like, now can you let him out? Hold on.
Wait. He wasn't violent, but he committed domestic violence. So that's domestic
No, they're agreeing that he was violent.
Agreeing that he's violent.
By saying, yes, he was violent, but it was just a regular old domestic violence dispute.
Regular
normal, slapping the hoe around.
Off-the-shelf
Little more,
stock.
just a little hoe backhanding. It was
who
not,
amongst us has not been dragged down a hallway by their hair?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Especially her hair is so strong.
But they said that didn't constitute sex trafficking.
No, it's actually an entirely different crime.
That's a whole other thing. That's why
assault is an entirely
wasn't it?
Oh my God, you guys, this is like that word we can't say, hour.
What?
The point being that they were trying to keep him from getting charged with sex trafficking and racketeering, saying that beating was not him forcing her into the sex trade for him.
Right.
That was just them having a relationship dispute.
We understand that.
I don't think you
No,
guys
we do.
did.
We're laughing about the fact that was their defense and it bit him in the ass
No,
for
he
bail.
said, well,
That's just a
that's a
separate
totally different crime.
It is, though.
That's what I'm saying.
God.
I'm just saying
That's
that
two crimes.
When you admit that no, he's not a sex trafficker, which is one crime, but he did beat the shit out of her. That's another crime.
Wait, can't they get him for that too?
They didn't charge him for that.
Agreeing that he beat her,
Right?
But they just needed the jury to believe. Everybody,
I think one of us
pay
doesn't
attention.
needs the
Everyone
word that you
needed
don't want
the
to say.
jury to believe that the
Uh-huh.
beating was not part of a larger scheme that
Right.
other people were involved in,
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
racketeering and
got
sex
it.
We
trafficking.
totally get
I
this.
don't-
We
it's him I'm really
no, we
worried
understand
about.
exactly what you mean. We're saying that to say that crime is invalid because he committed this
other crime.
Yeah, this other crime. We're just saying that,
but
and
the
that's what.
prosecution introduced it as part of the evidence that he was coercing her into performing
Right.
at these freak-offs.
All right, you guys need to know that Ray is very
Oh
Ray
my
is very
God.
literal. She's dead on. We're laughing that it just seems funny that to get off of this one crime they said no. It was just normal. It wasn't sex trafficking. He just beat the shit out of her.
Yeah,
We
with
just think that's-
he used
we
that
just think
stolen gun
Yeah.
to
yeah.
buy
We just
the
thought it was
lotion.
funny that his defense attorney admitted to an entirely other crime.
Because the prosecution
I know,
said
we
it
know
was
why.
part
We
of
know.
it. I don't think you do. I don't think
We know
anybody
why.
gets it, and I'm very frustrated.
I'm gonna do a
No, you didn't know we get it. We just seeing it different than you're seeing it. I totally get. I'm
My
sorry.
name is Rachel.
I like fire trucks.
Wait, that's a cool like Laverne and Shirley type. Sure,
like that
that's
a lot.
cool.
It just reminds me who I am.
I like. So Diddy.
Yeah,
Then
let's
we got.
move past this.
Then we got Alligator Auschwitz being
He
built.
got off on racketeering and sex trafficking.
Right.
But the most depressing thing is they were obviously prosecution and defense have said different lengths of time for these crimes, but at best we're looking at up to 60 months, and he's already served 10 at best. If he goes with what the defense says, it's 21 months minus 10.
So he'll still have to do almost a year. Well,
Wow.
the problem is that
And then dipshit will let him
we
off.
have some insight into this case.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Not at all. We don't know anybody who's done anything with
He's
this.
like, but I don't understand what is wrong with you. You are like a leaky sieve.
Yeah.
You cannot tell him anything ever.
Yeah.
You have
What
a weird
insight
white
would we
outfit.
have into this
So
case?
my psychic insight into the case is that he did it. Did it?
But we actually didn't get insight into this case.
You're absolutely right. Nothing happened.
But we actually didn't. I'm so
So
confused.
Everybody needs to look right into the camera sometimes, and we just
Yeah, that's what I
nothing
just
happened.
went-
We don't know anybody. We don't know anything. Nothing happened. We don't know anything about the case.
But we don't.
No, you're supposed to just hold it.
I
You
can't.
can't even do the comedy, you weirdo. So
This episode brought to you
moving
by
on.
But
moving
he'll
on.
just say we have it, and I don't know what it is, and then I'll get in trouble.
Moving on from the predator to the predators that are going to kill immigrants if they try to escape from Alligator Auschwitz. We are now building concentration
It's
camps
a
in
concentration
America.
camp.
Again, same guy built concentration camps last time. Here's a little piece of it.
Trump Camp. That's right, this summer, where we put you in luxurious rooms big enough for 100 people, but we give you more and more and more at Trump Camp.
And now he's building new ones. Except this time he's not putting them in where people can get to him. He's putting it in the middle of the Everglades.
Yep.
And it's saying that, and actually talking about like, they said, snakes, there's pythons and stuff out there, alligators. He's like, yep, go ahead, try to escape. Like, I don't understand.
There's panthers or something too. Did you hear that? I was
piranhas in 3D.
What?
And
It's
it's humid and hot and shitty. So those panthers are angry. Like all the animals in Florida are
It was
fucking
an
angry.
odd third animal that I was like,
Yeah.
what?
He is this malignant, evil prick that we currently have as president, and the people around him are just as dumb and evil. I listened to Kristi Noem speak. I listened to Who hurt Stephen? What's his face? God,
Miller.
who hurt Stephen Miller, man?
What
He went to
morons are color coordinating Trump's merch to wear for TV and photo ops? She had on a white one to match her white outfit, and he had on a red one that said the Gulf of America like an idiot.
Written like huge, like child font.
It's so bad. It's such not a good look or good merch, and it's embarrassing. It's like if we wore our own merch.
If I wore all the Christopher Titus shirts on stage, it'd be weird.
Oh, it's just.
But
it's not
we
good.
have he has taken. And listen, we can go through the history of the presidency, and I'm sure there's presidents that didn't treat it with the respect that it deserved. Nixon being one. But it's a world leader. And this fucker whores his merch. Yeah, exactly. Like he is the whitest trash piece. Like I can't
He's
fathom.
Now selling.
They're selling alligator Alcatraz T-shirts.
Wait, he had something that he was hucking yesterday. His cologne.
Cologne. He's got a cologne.
Yeah.
If it smells like him, boo. Ooh. It'll keep bugs away.
What is that, 1990 diaper? What is that?
Yeah, it'll keep bugs away. You just put it, spray it around your outside when you're having a barbecue. What happened? No bugs at all.
But it attracts flies.
Except we're not arresting criminals. So he said, pretty soon this facility will handle the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet.
Some of the most horrible car washers.
We're going to teach
gardeners,
them how to run away from an alligator if they escape
the
prison.
Pool cleaners. The people that change the sheets at the Residence Inn. We're going to put them over here and going to take. I don't understand. What scares me, and I talked about it in the show, is this big beautiful bill. Can you bring the big beautiful bill thing up?
Call it that.
I call it the big bullshit bill in the Armageddon.
Did you see that it included a provision to give Meta $15 billion? It's actually phrased. If you guys want to hear it. Word for word, Senator Warren talks about it on her Instagram. It says to fund research for Meta. This is a bill that just passed. It's going
just a
around
private
now.
Company.
For 2023, and 2024.
Right. Retroactive.
Which have passed.
Wait. They're just giving him a kickback?
Yeah, it's for their R&D.
It's the way that they justify handing him $15 billion, and Senator Warren is going off on this.
Wait. They're giving Zuckerberg $15 billion for 22, 23, and 24?
Yes.
So they're just giving him a kickback? They're just fucking paying him?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
And of course, it's weird how he suddenly wanted to show up at the inauguration and how something motivated him to remove those restrictions from fake news and stuff during the campaign. Yep. Yeah. Isn't that strange?
That's happening for all of them. They're all getting huge kickbacks, and that's the only reason that they backed him, which is so...
Palantir's getting a crap load of money. BlackRock.
Stephen Miller has it.
Palantir is getting a ton of money.
Yeah, Palantir's getting a ton of money.
Senator Warren said if every one of the 340 million people in America paid a new $35 copay to go to the doctor, that still wouldn't be enough to cover how much Meta is getting from just one tax break in this bill.
So we can all agree we've done this enough now. We've now done almost 10 years of talking about this idiot and this evil prick. And I think we don't have to keep harping on that. What we have to talk about, and we need to nail this down, is that we have no opposition that works. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is no, the best person doing it right now is Gavin Newsom, and he's sued him for $787 million. Yes. To remind everybody that you people that believe Fox News is the only news thing that's news organization, quote unquote, entertainment division that has been fined almost $800 million for flat out fucking lying. So, but you keep believing them, keep watching them, you dumbasses. So my problem is that we don't have anybody stepping up, and the people that got mouthy and started doing it, David Hogg, Jasmine Crockett got pretty much, she got axed. Did you see what happened?
What do you mean?
They basically told her that she got kicked off a committee or didn't get a committee. And someone said to the fact that she's too, it was very couched in racism from the Democrats. Mm-hmm. Said she's basically too black, basically.
Speaking of Democrats, we need to really establish that the current Democrats, the establishment Democrats, the Schumers and whatever, are not Democrats. They are not. They're
He said
more.
this to me the other day.
They're center, probably center, leaning right. Anywhere else in the world, they would be conservative, because the real.
Well, that's why they're freaked out about
progressives-
Mamdani, because
Yes.
because what they here's my theory. Here, you said this to me the other day, and I kind of molded it for the last couple of days. Mamdani came out and he won the primary in New York. Now he's a Muslim socialist Democrat. By the way, we live in a democratic socialist country. All you people that keep saying I'm fucking socialist. How did you get to work today? Did you build that road? You know, when you turned your faucet on and then the water fucking came out, that's a socialist program. You know, in the military, that's a socialist program. You know, when you do anything, when you turn the gas on, that's a socialist program.
Fire department.
Fire department. Oh yeah, your house burned down. You put it out. No, you didn't put it out. So you pay taxes. This is another thing people aren't clear on, and what I don't understand is how the left doesn't go, hey, all this shit they're cutting, you paid for.
It's a service that you're paying. You're buying it.
Why do you think that you at the taxes? What is it? Just what do you think taxes are for?
And the fraction, the tiny amount that we pay into, let's say, safety net programs is like $5 or whatever.
Yeah, it's $5.
But,
Yeah.
but thousands of our dollars per person is going to the corporate fucking.
Well, going to Zuckerberg
their
from,
loopholes.
from outrageous.
Did you know? So you know that video that I sent you that a bunch of people went on Instagram and I said you could go ask me for it,
Yeah.
and they did.
Yeah,
I
yes.
sent it to a bunch of people, but a lot of it had to do with dark money and how it's
Mhm.
intertwined and Elon and all that. Did you know? I just happened to see this just now while I was looking up the Meta thing. That Peter Thiel, the guy who got
He looks
JD
like-
Vance elected, was one of the original big investors in Facebook/Meta.
Mhm.
Did you know that? So that's him and Zuckerberg.
Mhm.
Did you know that Peter Thiel co-founded PayPal
Yes.
with Elon?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. They're all buddies.
Yeah,
There's like 40 of them.
so you remember for years they've been saying
But
that
these are all the
it's
people
the
that are
Illuminati.
getting the money
It's
from
Illuminati.
this bill.
Remember, but you remember the Republicans
Yeah.
saying the Democrats had this cabal of people that ran
Yeah.
shit?
Mhm.
That's not the truth.
Yes.
They always tell you what they're
Yes.
doing. There is a whole group of motherfuckers
Crazy.
that have so much money now.
Mhm.
They're just in a group. And I'll be honest with you, they gave money to Biden too. They gave money to Obama. The weirdest part about these guys is they don't care
Yeah, exactly.
who's ever in power. Now, Trump obviously did promise them a lot because they were really backed him up this time. Elon said something today. So Trump basically, Elon responded to the threat that Trump said. They said, do you think you should deport Elon Musk? He goes, maybe we're going to have to look at that. Maybe we're going to have to set sick Doge on him. It'd be funny if Doge ate Elon. Ha ha
The
ha.
monster that Doge is had to come and eat
Elon. That's what he said yesterday. So Elon said, so he said it was so
tempting
so
to
tempting
escalate it or
to
something.
escalate
Yeah.
this.
Please,
But
come
I'm
on.
not.
Just do it.
Well, he didn't incriminate himself. If he told them what he did, and by the way, just so you guys know, we're going to have Election Truth Alliance on next week to talk about all the new information.
The camp took 8 days to build. I'm assuming that they did not put in air
So it's high
conditioning.
quality. So it's high quality.
Mhm.
So 8 days. Good.
400 security staff,
By the way-
200 cameras. Florida National Guard has now sent 100 troops. They're going to stay on the ground as long as needed at the direction of Governor DeSantis.
I have a question. Who
Uh,
built the camp? Who was working in that
Oh.
hot ass? I told you the camp is done. And they're
The
like, well,
undocumented immigrants.
then you need to go get in the camp.
Yeah, just-
are we
You finish
building-
that door? All right, shut it behind yourself.
Shut it behind you, bro.
They have merch.
Yep, alligator Alcatraz.
You know, like if we had Nazi camp.
Like Auschwitz hats.
Mm.
Yeah, like if you had, yeah. Did you get the new Auschwitz bracelet? It's very nice.
Yeah, the new Auschwitz cologne.
You can
It's-
pick your own number.
People are
You get a
gonna
tattoo.
die.
A number.
Republicans kill people since the day this administration took over. First of all, let's go to the first administration. First administration, before he left, he screwed up COVID so bad, 400,000 were already dead. When he left, we were hitting a peak of 5,000 dead a day. They were stacking bodies in refrigerator trucks. To be clear, Republicans kill Americans. So now we got him back again within 2 weeks? Doge had cut all USAID funding, and they're saying that at least this year alone, 300,000 children and people will starve. because of USAID. On top of that, we've lost all our goodwill with all these countries worldwide, which means there will be more wars. There will be more people die. Republicans kill people. So we now have, so all these people are going to die. They've killed pediatric cancer research. Those are children dying. Republicans kill people. They've stopped the weather service. So we're not getting any, they fired meteorologists. We're not even getting any warning of tornadoes or hurricanes.
And FEMA.
And FEMA.
You're going to fly away and not be able to build back again.
Fly, your house is going to go.
Yep.
And then you're not going to be able to fix it.
HHS, if you get diseases when the power grid
goes down.
Because we shut down the monitoring section in the Department of Defense where they were making sure that we didn't get hacked again, like our electrical grid or our pipeline or anything. Yeah. Right. When the power goes down and you get diseases.
Right. Because also all the infrastructure closed.
Nor will we have
fresh water has stopped. Sewage has stopped. So we all get sick. And they fired everybody from the vaccination centers too. They fired anybody from the CDC.
Wait. They cut FEMA, which is they've helped build like temporary housing and things like that.
Yeah, they bring in trailers and stuff and help people when.
So they cut that so that they can build Alligator Auschwitz.
Yeah. So they did. They're using the FEMA money to actually build the prison.
Wow.
He actually yesterday allocated $150 billion more dollars to immigration enforcement. Yes.
Which that Peter Thiel has a stake in, and Stephen Miller does.
You do understand that this will take, if we survive it, if the country doesn't go down, if we make it through this, the investigations on the B side of this will be insane of what we find where this money went. This is the biggest grift and biggest con in American history. They said that this bill is, and I remember I was around when Reagan, I was a kid, but I remember when Reagan was doing what he was doing with the defense industry, and they were saying, and trickle down was the biggest scam ever, biggest transfer of wealth. This beats trickle-down economics. This bill is the biggest transfer of wealth in American history.
It's hard to really digest that.
Are they going to be okay, though?
They really have a hard time in this country. I mean, the economy is pretty bad now.
This episode brought to you by Harry's.
At least the poor people can get a good shave.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're flying away in a tornado.
It's the most affordable opportunity to get a good shave anywhere, and you're going to need that.
I was 3 days ago. 3 days ago. It's 3 days now because I'm off. It's my week off. I'm not doing comedy this week.
That's 3 days growth.
That's 3 days.
So is this.
Yeah.
That's like 3 hours growth on
Exactly.
Ken.
I know. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I also Harry's razors are so good that you feel it whenever it's done.
Yeah.
It is like squeak. Yeah. It's like mirror smooth.
Both directions.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. I use it every day. Use a Harry's razor every day, and that blade still lasts me probably a couple weeks at least.
Would say
I keep it in the shower.
They last because I think the blades last. In my experience, for all the years we've Harry's, 3 times as long as the other blades.
It's insanely long.
Yes.
I don't know how you make money, Harry's. So I have the craft handle. I actually have a bunch of different handles. I still have the vintage Pride handle. You did steal the craft handle from me, and that's the new one, and it's got the little rubber bumpy thingies on it. It's a weighted handle. It's the whole experience of Harry's is so luxe and high level and elite, and that's why it's very surprising how affordable it is. You get, like, if you get the set, you get the box that looks like really like an Apple box, basically, not apples that you eat, but Apple, like the computer brand.
Well-styled packaging.
Yes,
as we'll say.
Yes. So we recommend starting out with the trial set. They have the 5-blade razor comes in that set, the weighted handle, the foaming shave gel, and the travel cover. And you can get all of that for $6. If you go to harrys.com/bombshell, you can set up customizable delivery options. I have the biggest number that you can get because I have razor anxiety. I think it's 18 or 36.
We have under the sink, and because they do last so long,
we're not going through it.
Well, you ever do the thing where you have a bunch of stuff and then you go get, you think, we've got to be out of that by now.
Oh, yeah.
So she already gets, so there's so many, we have so many.
No, I buy the biggest amount because I got down to the last razor.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And panicked.
And panicked. So went and panic purchased. And now you don't use them up that fast. So I feel good though. I feel rich actually.
I do too. When I go in and I got a little blue pack and it's got 6 razors.
Yep.
I might click.
6.
Well, I guess, they open like 3.
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
2 and 2?
2 and 2, baby.
Because if you guys, you got to step on stage, right? And if you're not going to go on stage with Sasquatch legs
or
you know
armpits in a tank top,
and be like, thanks everybody, fuck.
Exactly. And they make their own blades in a German factory, so they stay sharper for longer, like we said. So get the shaving products that always deliver. Get Harry's. Normally the trial set is $10. Right now you get it for just $6 at harrys.com/bombshell. That's our link for you guys. harrys.com/bombshell for your $6 trial set.
Guys, and try all the other products too. I get, like, everything they make is so good. I use the body wash. I use the shampoo, 2 different kinds of shampoo.
You have hair paste anxiety.
I use the hair paste. I do. Well, the hair paste, it's so good. It's gone all the time. So I actually I stock up when I have them that, like there'll be like 10 of like whatever that other brand is. And then there'll be 2 of Harry's.
You get the Redwood body wash too.
So
none of the scents smell bad. They're all really good.
Stone is good too.
Redwood is my favorite.
So
Elon Musk is fighting with Trump again about the bill.
This is not going to go well. This because how does this shake out? Trump is talking mad shit. And can I just finish what I was going to say? Sure.
So he, because I just started the story and then he just, he is fighting again with him about the bill because it passed the Senate on Tuesday. He called it a disgusting abomination, and he's now launched an all-out offensive on X, saying that he is going to seek vengeance against the GOP if they pass the bill, which Trump also said that he would primary people if they didn't support the bill.
Right.
So
how is he going to seek vengeance? With his money.
He said he's going, if it passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that the people actually have a voice.
This refers to, we were talking about something before, that we're in this country and it's hard to digest what's happening to us right now in real time.
That's why no one's reacting, because it's impossible. Yes.
But the rest of the world, they've started to call the Trump administration the American Fascist Party.
Yes.
So we're like kind of even right now, we're not really, it's hard for us to label it that.
Well, what you're saying though is something that the rest of the world, I mean, you think of all the European countries, they've been around for thousands of years. Yeah. They've been through this. Yeah. They've had fascists, they've had dictators, Italy, they Germany. Mm-hmm. They know what this is. And the thing is that we're not listening to them. Yeah. We're not going, shut up.
Because we're number one.
Shut up. It's America, man. It's never going to happen here. It's not only is it going to happen, it's happened. Mm-hmm. They're masked people are snagging people off the streets. And these guys aren't even cops, have no warrants or anything.
Some are, right? But there's apparently vigilantes that are.
They're paying bounty hunters to bring in immigrants. Guys, we told you this shit was going to happen.
Even in the bill, there's even more, gives Trump more powers. So if this bill goes through.
They can't. Look what they can't. They can't arrest him.
The AI thing for 10 years.
That got pulled out.
Courts can't.
Are you sure?
That got pulled out in the Senate.
Oh, it did it?
Yeah, so they have to regulate. That got pulled out in the Senate.
I thought I saw a whole thing on.
Do me a favor. Look up. There's a whole thing that they can't. If the Trump administration cannot be prosecuted if they refuse to follow court orders. Yeah,
yes,
they cannot be corporated. They cannot be held in contempt of court.
That's a king
for not following court orders. I'm sorry. The whole fucking point is you're supposed to follow court orders. That's why we have 3 branches of government, but we don't. We don't have 3 branches of government. Congress is the most inept, flaccid group of douchebags ever. On the current, we have Republicans that will do anything this guy wants because whatever he has on everybody, Lindsey Graham too, they've got shit on everybody because he's just basically. I watched Lisa Murkowski, who I always thought was thoughtful, fold like a fucking like a greeting card. She got. Well, they bribed her. She got stuff for Alaska. And then she had the balls.
Oh, that's right.
Then she had the fucking balls to go, I don't like this bill. I don't like what it's going to do to Americans. I don't like it. Bitch, you voted for it.
Yeah.
I called her office and left her a message.
She cast the deciding vote.
Whereas John McCain came in and went down and saved the ACA. She actually killed it. She actually basically, by the way, because here's the thing. Republicans kill Americans. Does anyone have I been clear yet? And this is not hyperbole. Mm-hmm. We can see what's going to happen and what has happened in the past with COVID. Republicans kill Americans. Say it, people. I want you to start. That's your new phrase. We should do a shirt that says that. I'd wear that shirt out. Mm-hmm. I'll wear it on stage. Because then I get the people out there that aren't going to get the jokes anyway.
Look, we're doing it. Here it is.
Justice Jackson has actually come out and said disaster looms.
Who said this?
Ketanji Brown Jackson. Yeah. After that last ruling, the birthright citizenship injunction.
That's scary that a Supreme Court justice just uttered those words.
Yeah, no, she knows what's coming.
Wow.
But that's the thing is if you know history at all, if you have any concept of history, we know where this goes. We know where this goes. We know how it ends. We know it ends with people in the streets. And if you remember last time during all it took was George Floyd. What hasn't happened is the inciting incident hasn't quite happened yet. It's been all this kind of half-assed. What ICE hasn't done, because what Chauvin did, and it was on camera for 9 minutes, is it was the most cruel thing I think any of us have ever seen in modern times. Him just kneeling on that man's neck. Mm-hmm. That, trust me, we're getting there. I watched in some black neighborhood. I watched ICE came in and tried to grab some people, and they were attacked. Yeah. And it got quiet really quick. I've noticed that people are getting in these guys' faces. I saw another group driving them out. It was here in California somewhere. They showed up, they got surrounded, and they got back in the van and left.
Yep.
Because those guys aren't cops. Those guys are bounty hunters that are getting paid. So
Where did you hear that? Except from Rosa.
What? Look at this video. I saw it on Instagram.
The other thing that's positive.
Okay, so let's not say anything that they say. Let's just find out. Because I know Rosa said this, that she heard, because Rosa's living in fear.
Look at bounty hunters getting paid bounties to pick up immigrants.
Homeland Security has denied, they've called it a hoax, but I don't believe.
Yeah, because Trump also said that he wasn't going to touch Medicaid.
Did you see that a January 6th rioter that was attacking police has now been installed in the DOJ?
Yep, I saw that today.
It's
They said kill him. He actually was screaming. We have him on recording saying kill them all, kill him. And he's in the DOJ now. He was actually in jail, and he's in the DOJ now.
Yes.
If you guys only knew how close this was to what Hitler did in Germany, and I'm doing a bit about it in the show. You guys need to know that Hitler also pardoned all the guys that helped him attack the government. He pardoned them when he got out. Yeah. Hitler also did all this stuff. Basically, said that the Jews, the immigrants, were poisoned. But he also just randomly picked people up and deported them to other countries, to Poland. He just picked them up.
Geographically, if we were like Germany, we would already be complete fascist. So it's a slower process, and hopefully, like this, Zoran Mamdani, that's a show of force for the progressives. If he can win, that shows that's going to be like a lightning rod.
Trump just came out and said, "I'm not going to let him be."
He said Eric Adams had a problem, and I helped him with it. He said it on camera. He doesn't give a shit. So there is a woman from LA missing, from South LA, named Julie Calderon. This is what has started the rumors, especially in immigrant communities, that bounty hunters have been hired by ICE to pick up people. They say it's absolutely not true. It's lazy reporting, but nobody knows where she is still.
Well, let's be clear. Okay. All right. Let's take that at face value, but let's go to the video we've been seeing.
She told her family.
Let's been seeing the videos and seeing on. We're seeing doughy, fat dad bod poking out of their vests, douchebags. Wait, unarmed, and then we're seeing
armed.
Those guys they are not. No, there's a whole bunch of guys that are jumping out of vans, unmarked vans. Yes, there's a whole other group that are like literally weaponed up with tactical. Those guys are cops.
Yeah,
those guys are cops or military. There's another group of guys wearing fucking baseball hats and mom jeans, getting out and grabbing people.
But why, if he's already going to commit the crime of having bounty hunters kidnap immigrants? Wouldn't he just let them be armed? I will just say I have seen
They can't.
pictures from Homeland Security, HSI, warrant service and raids and things, and they all look like that. Also, some of the people that you're seeing they're hiding because they don't want people in their community to know that they were there.
Yeah.
I have seen pictures of my brother serving warrants, and not in this stuff, I don't mean, but before, and they're all like just eyes showing. And I guess certainly no one would want people in their community to know they're doing this. Some of them have to be ashamed.
But
this mom is still missing. She said she was able to make a phone call. She said that she's not at a detention center. She said she's at the border at San Ysidro, where she was given self-deportation paperwork and allowed to make a phone call. And she said they were bounty hunters to her family, apparently.
When all of our family who's in law enforcement shows up at a house where they know a guy is sex trafficking or like doing an online thing where he's going to show video of like someone hurting a kid, those guys, those tactical guys, they should go in masked. Those guys need to go in, kick the door in, go in masked, take everybody out. You know why? Because you want them to be undercover on another thing. The problem is with this thing, and you guys don't know this, but when Trump decided to get rid of, because Stephen Miller set a quota, 3,000 people a day have to be deported, 3,000 a day,
arbitrary.
So. What happened was they pulled HSI off of all the cases. So here's what's not happening now because of this Trump thing. People that were going after sex traffickers, that were going after people that were raping children, guess what? Those cases got stopped. They're over now. They got put away. Places where people were bringing in huge amounts of drugs, those cases were stopped so they can go get the guy from IHOP who was mowing the lawn and take him out of the country. So the people that he said he was going after are no longer being gone after. He's going after the people that are cleaning the hotels, that are actually mowing the lawns, that are making sure that the dishes are cleared off the Denny's table, and the people that are actually working at the car wash. Someone told me yesterday. What did someone say yesterday? Chip. I was down there, and I was down at Fusa's thing, and one of the guys that was hanging out with us said that at the car wash where he usually goes, because they're car guys, we got cars clean, that there's nobody there. They just didn't show up. They had to close because none of them showed up.
It's that movie, A Day Without a Mexican.
Yeah.
Ever see that movie?
Oh.
It's a great movie.
It
was done by a Mexican filmmaker, and it's basically shows how the world will work when there's nobody here doing the work.
It's like,
oh God, we're not these people.
It's to show how important and integral.
I never worry that I'm racist because I'm not. I never think
there are fields that the food is rotting on the trees and on the ground.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm gonna get a $6 apple.
Speaking of apples, this episode brought to you by AG1.
How do you like those apples?
Well, I like those apples. AG1, it's your daily health drink. 1 scoop of AG1 has 75 plus vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, superfood that you could not possibly eat in one day. I can't say that enough. And what are you getting out of it? You're getting energy support, improved digestion, which really you'll notice right away, gut health. It fills those nutrient gaps in your diet, especially if you're busy like we are. I cannot sit and eat kale 5 times a day and get wheatgrass shots at Jamba Juice and.
That's a good point. I get those bags of salad from Trader Joe's, which I like, but having one of those bags of salad, it's a lot. And AG1 is better.
You got to go read the ingredients in AG1 on their website.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And it supports your immune health, which I have greatly noticed for myself, especially with traveling. I don't get sick all the time anymore. I don't get the colds and flus and stuff like that I used to get all the time. I used to get bronchitis all the time.
I get upset if I forget it. There's certain days where I go through
this morning. I didn't do it, and I just thought when I get home I got to do it. I was just like, oh,
I know, it's the same.
And you don't have to sit and eat bags of salad because it takes you like 30 seconds.
Put it in a glass of water. It goes down easy. It tastes good. It's over. And in about 20, 25 minutes, I notice that I have a sense of well-being. That's what I notice.
I notice less energy when I don't take it.
Yes. Yes.
If I don't have it on the road, which I should because they have those travel packs that drop right into a water bottle. If I don't have it, like we carried on this weekend to Texas and Oklahoma.
Can I say something?
And
She did
so
3 days. 3 days on it with a
in the
carry-on.
carry-on.
This woman
Wow.
has gotten, you've evolved.
Wait, with just a carry-on?
Yeah, dude, it was great. Now, it weighed more than Mercury.
I was gonna say,
Like,
define
it had the
carry-on.
gravity of Venus.
You both had to carry
She
it.
was like, can you put the stuff in the car? And I grabbed mine and I'm like,
There's kettlebells in here.
So start giving your body the nutrients it deserves. Go to our link, drinkag1.com/your link. Is that sirens in the
Yeah,
background? To subscribe for less than $3 a day, you get all of that support for your body. If you use this link, you're also going to get a free welcome kit with a shaker bottle, 5 AG1 travel packs, and more with your first purchase. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Every subscription, let's see, I want to see what it is. Every new customer using the link gets $76 of free extras when they subscribe. So they get the
What?
every subscription comes
Wow.
with a 30-day supply of AG1, 5 free AG1 travel packs, the shaker bottle, which I use every day,
yes, you
the metal canister, which I love, with the metal scoop. That was when we leveled up. And a bottle of the AG vitamin D3 K2. They get all of that. And the shaker bottles are green now. So I need a
That's
new
cheaper
one.
than getting
And here's
vitamins.
That's crazy.
I think a lot of ads, we do ads, people, they're selling us stuff. Here's what I love about AG1 and products like it. It is for my health. It's like having a gym membership. You did it so you had a place to go to get better.
Yeah.
And AG1 is one of those things that it's like every day it's better.
Yeah. We just want to help your life.
So Paramount has agreed to pay $16 million to settle a lawsuit with Donald Trump. He alleged that their interview that aired on 60 Minutes last year with Kamala Harris was deceptively edited, and he sued them, and they settled with him today.
Based on what though? And do me a favor, look
They
up Paramount
said
merger deal. Look up
They
Paramount.
said the agreement in principle proposed by a mediator includes plaintiff's fees and costs, and except for these fees and costs will be allocated to Trump's future presidential library. That's what Paramount Global said yesterday. Like
This
he's
guy's-
going to have a library.
It's a bribe. It's going to be the
Everyone is saying it's a bribe. And by everyone, I mean all the pundits right now talking on MSNBC and CNN I've been watching.
It's going to be the only library with no books. Because you have to be able to read them. Just all the books will have pictures.
It'll just be
pictures.
like Art of the Deal and
His own
a
book that he
children's
didn't
book.
write.
The Bible.
What's that one? That children's
His
book
Bible.
His Bible, yeah.
that he's a king. Oh, the Cash Patel's book.
Cash Patel.
That is
Oh,
fucking
God.
psychotic.
Yeah. Who
We
do
live
you
in
think
dark
they're
times.
merging with and why?
Just see, I thought Paramount was. I thought there was a big giant merger deal that was
BlackRock.
going through. No, it was like two big companies, Paramount and somebody else. Were
Skydance.
they're merging, right? And that has to be approved by the government.
Skydance is acquiring National Amusements, Paramount's parent company, for $2.5 billion,
There you go.
followed by a merger of Paramount and Skydance. This will end the Redstone family's control of Paramount. It also includes a $4.5 billion cash and stock payment to Paramount's Class A and Class B stockholders.
Boom.
There you
This
go.
merger
So-
is valued at approximately $28 billion.
So okay, we're gonna. So how do we get this? How do we? So let me ask you a question. So we got this $4
The
billion.
deal requires approval from the
me
FCC.
Let me,
I want you to know that before you.
So let me tell you.
okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right. So we got this deal, right? It's going to be everybody's going to do well. 28 billion, 200 billion. What's it going to take to get rid of this so we can just kind of get it through? Kind of take it and go, whistle through, put it through the pipe. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Maybe 16 million? Hey, what if we just send you 16 million? You listen, when you learn to read, we want to help you with your library. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that you get some money for your library. And then you can actually go ahead and build a library. Okay?
It's a bribery.
So they're saying that it helped clear a hurdle to the merger by just getting rid of that lawsuit. But if Paramount didn't get the merger done, Skydance could receive a $400 million breakup fee.
So this is getting rid of.
Holy shit!
So companies can't monopolize.
This is why people are saying bribe paid. There's a whole look. That's the head of the YouTube channel.
Guys, so Paramount just gave Trump $60 million to get a 400, so they don't have to pay $400 million to Skydance. Holy shit.
South Park creators rip Skydance Paramount merger as a shit show and blame the deal for delaying their new season.
I cannot wait to see what Trey and Matt do with South Park. Oh my God. South Park is the conscience of America. You need to know something. A lot of people think it's really base, and sometimes what they'll do is they'll do the basest thing, the queef episode. The queef episode, I watched the first 5 minutes and I'm like, this is disgusting. Why are these guys going so lowbrow? By the end of the queef episode, they're doing this bit on how women are seen different from men, that men can fart and do this horrible shit and it's funny, and women do it and it's disgusting, the same thing. And it was this thing on feminism, and it started with this horrible bit on queefing, and then it ends with this amazing comment on feminism. And I thought, these fucking guys are stunning.
So highbrow.
Yeah.
South Park is highbrow.
Because the smart people already believe that. They need to get the dumb people. So the dumb people are like, yeah, I'm a queef. And by the end, the dumb people are like, oh, women are treated different.
Yeah.
And they're really brilliant. They deserve the billions of dollars they've made. Wow. And I think they've kind of didn't they show up to they showed up to premiere in drag once to support the drag community. I just think they're awesome. I just think they're awesome, and they've done what they said.
If you want a real glimpse into the dog whistling racism, him alluding to immigrants as being alligator bait.
Oh my God.
Google the history of alligator bait in America.
It goes back to slavery. It goes back. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Jim Crow. There's actually a postcard from 1921 that labels black babies as alligator bait. And then there's a 1908 article in the Washington Times that tells the story of pickaninnies being used to lure alligators at a New York zoo. So I guess there was a lot of alligator references. Jim Crow Museum on its website lists numerous other examples of racist imagery depicting black people, in most cases children, as bait for alligators. Nice. Awesome. This is our world now. So it's just a dog whistle, just another dog whistle
for the white supremacy, like lane. But that's the objective to rewrite this country, to put it in the hands of white supremacists.
But we're doing it over again. The thing that we got better from, the thing that took so much work and blood and sweat and tears, and MLK being killed and people being injured just trying to protest or killed. All of the people, Rosa Parks, people that fought just to use the same fucking bathroom.
And Pete Hegseth,
now here we are.
Changing the names of, back to like Confederate.
Tubman's gone.
The white slave owners are the ones in charge now. They're back in charge.
You know, guys, I So my life doesn't exist without this country. My life doesn't work without it. The free speech that it's provided has given me a job, the education that I got before Reagan fucked it up, and then the one thing that America always had and has had is, especially in California, is that everybody's the same. Doesn't matter, it was based on what you did and based on who you were, not on what color your skin was or anything. And to be in 2025 and having some cunt of a president saying that immigrants are going to be alligator bait with all the racist dog wishing bullshit that is, makes me fucking cry, man. Like, we are fucking lost. And guys, there's going to be an inciting incident. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it'll be a false flag event. I don't know if it'll be like a Derek Chauvin thing where we just are done. I mean, we were so fucking pissed with the George Floyd thing, and it galvanized the country, and that's going to happen. And then in the middle of that, we had this punk ass bitch, Kyle Rittenhouse, ask his mom to drive him 30 miles or whatever it was with a long gun to a protest. And then he killed a couple people and got away with it. And
then posed with Trump with his thumb.
there is going to be, the problem is the pendulum swings and it's so far to the right now. Like you even said, even the Democrats, like we have the most inane, powerless. I watch Hakeem Jeffries and I watch Chuck Schumer and I just go, what the fuck are you guys doing?
You ready for breaking news?
Oh God.
And I
let me just finish. Let me just finish. I am tired. I'm tired. I'm angry. And I'm sad. Fucking sad. That this fucking asshole. And there's people that the reason he can do it is because there's a big chunk of our country that likes it.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me fucking sad and fucking angry. And I get, remember we thought, how did the Civil War happen? How was brother against brother? Do you get it now? Do you get it? I never got it. I get it now. Go ahead. Sorry.
SCOTUS grants Doge access to all Social Security data as Musk's feud with Trump continues to escalate. They're building a citizenship database through Palantir, which they've been very vocal about, but now they have access to all our data.
Do you guys, so facial recognition technology, you guys know what they're doing in China, right? They have CCTV cameras all over the place.
That was MAGA's entire
fight during
COVID. Government. We don't want big government. We don't want the big government tracking us all day long.
It's like you have a Yelp review that you can't get rid of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? But no, in China, if you're out doing something that's not okay, and they facial recognition you get a ticket.
Yeah,
that's
like
how
if you
fast.
jaywalk.
That's how
like if you trip on the curb. If you say something,
alligator bait. That's the most fucked up thing. It's the most fucked up thing I can imagine.
Yeah, he says that he's going to use the National Citizenship Data System to crack down on non-citizen voters, even though there haven't been very
there is
many
none.
of those.
There is no non-citizen.
There were some Republicans.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Republicans that voted for their dead moms.
Yep,
repeatedly. What are you talking about? What is going on?
This episode brought to you by True Classic, a good thing that's happening in the world right now, even though there aren't a lot of other ones. At True Classic, it goes beyond fit and fabric, by God.
You're going to look good fighting your brother.
Making guys show up with confidence and purpose because it fits right. It feels amazing. That is no lie. I can confirm. I steal them all the time. And it's priced so everybody can use it.
But you also think I look pretty good in them.
Because they fit differently than other guys' shirts. They fit tighter on the guns and a little bit roomier in the gut area.
Which I don't need.
Which is usually the opposite.
Yeah.
And so they fixed it for you guys. But also workout. But it enhances what you've done. Right?
We all have that piece of clothing in our home that when you open your drawer and it's clean and you put it on and you go, oh yeah, I get to wear this today. It makes you feel a little bit of dopamine hit because this looks good on me.
Give you some confidence for the day.
That's every one of these True Classic shirts.
And they're so soft and they don't fade. It's so far.
Yeah,
I've dried them a lot.
Yeah.
They don't change shape. They always look that good.
Yeah, mine haven't changed shape. That's right.
And they look, the black one's still
I've stretched
black.
the arms out just a little bit.
More than just a little bit.
God.
Thank you. Someone's on payroll.
So forget overpriced designer brands. Get rid of that crappy fast fashion. True Classic is built for comfort, built to last, and built to give back. They actually do give back. Go check out their website. You can grab them at Target, Costco, or head to trueclassic.com/Titus and get hooked up today. Also, they have the funniest ads ever.
They're
I like
great.
that they don't take themselves seriously.
That's why I just did that with him because I was thinking that would be one of those. I've stretched out the arms quite a bit. Don't shake it off. You know where
He's doing finger guns.
Finger guns you. Oh man.
That's why I'm shaking my head.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't think it is.
No one.
Some National Guard troops from the shitty publicity stunt here are being reassigned. The National Guard commander has requested that some of them be allowed to return to firefighting, which is part of Gavin's lawsuit.
Really, in the summer in California, considering we had a wildfire in January, maybe July is probably the best month if I can let him go back to fighting fires. Good idea? Anybody? Fuck.
I love that.
By the way, where did that voice come from? That was
it really went high. I love that his settlement just is, I just want them to apologize. That's all he's asking. Apologize on air for Fox News lying for about
Gavin?
him and his phone call. That's his whole thing.
Only thing is
Apologize.
they retracted on air already, and so did OAN for lying about the election being
keep
stolen. And then Fox publicly paid a landmark settlement, and everybody moved on, and they still watch it.
They still watch it and they still believe it, even though they were fined the most ever for lying.
I don't understand that. I don't know why I just got high. I don't understand that.
What happened? That's how bad the world is. We're all talking like, what the fuck is going on? I gotta we are in a sad situation. And the thing is, when I said in the beginning of Armageddon Update, it's like we had another year of news this week. Every fucking day, there's a headline that in the past would have lasted for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Every fucking day. Yep. And I'm to the point where I it's hard to write the Armageddon updates because I'm like, I don't know what to do. And that's why I'm kind of doing a laundry list at the beginning and then getting to the point. I wish we had a different world right now.
We just had a 75-year-old man named Isidro Perez had been admitted into the U.S. from Cuba nearly 60 years ago, just died in ICE custody. He appears to have been detained due to a marijuana possession conviction he received in the 1980s. We also had a Canadian die in ICE custody. Mm-hmm. We have had 12 people die since the beginning of 2025.
It's because of what I said. Republicans kill people.
We've had political assassinations, right? Like the 60s. These are all...
By the way, no. Yes.
Previously galvanized...
A Republican. Kill people.
We've had,
a fireman.
Every day we have like a Watergate. There's a Watergate. Mm-hmm. There's an assassination.
Every day there's something that would have actually ended any presidency.
Would change the culture in other decades. Yeah. But we have it every other day now.
Well, we got used to him. That's the thing is we got used to... You got to remember, he fucking started at Hispanics are rapists, murderers, drug dealers, and I assume some are good people. They fucking started there. Mm-hmm. So since that day, and then we went through COVID and went through another once in 100-year pandemic, and the chaos and nightmare has become normalized. Yep. And that's where we're fucked. Yeah. Is because we keep bitching about it, but the problem is we don't seem to have anybody joining us it is fucking
Feels
crazy.
Like we are screaming into the void. NPR has reported on a Justice Department memo that surfaced from June 11th, which advises prosecutors to prioritize the denaturalization of citizens, people who have been naturalized citizens. The White House press secretary, she's a peach, has openly floated the idea of investigating Mamdani to possibly strip him of his citizenship.
Oh, all of a sudden, I wonder why.
We're taking she's a peach. That's the best thing to say. All of us. She's a peach. That's so Southern. That's so Southern. Wait a minute. I thought their entire point was, I want immigrants here. I want them here legally. Didn't they bitch and moan about, no, it's illegal immigrants. If you're here illegally, we want you out. But that's not the case. They want people they're picking people up in court who are there getting here legally. Now, people who are naturalized citizens who've literally busted their ass their whole life, who've gone through hearing after hearing, who had to take tests, who had to take an oath to the country.
Who know more about our American history than any of us do.
But they're here legally. That's legal. That's exactly what you wanted.
They're not going to stop.
Just remember, he called his critics the enemy within. He's not fighting real terrorists. He's called peaceful demonstrators terrorists, and he's floated the idea of deporting American citizens to foreign prisons. It's not going to stop. And I would argue that as many Latino and Latina people that we have saying, I can't believe I voted for him, I can't believe he did this to me or my mom or my kid or my whatever, I would say there are going to be a lot more of us screaming that before this is over that voted for him. Because he will end up hitting everyone.
There was a woman today, I saw someone reposted on Threads from X. Woman said that I cannot believe I voted for Donald Trump. She said this is the quote, I voted to own the libs because I thought it was hilarious. I just found out my Medicare is going to go away. I need help.
You need to know that there are a lot more immigration things than what we hear about.
Yep.
There was a guy from, I think he was Norwegian, who was denied entry because of a meme he did of JD Vance, because he looks like JD Vance. Did you see that?
Mhm.
Wow.
Trump admin has just revoked the visas for the punk group that chanted death to the IDF at the Glastonbury Festival. They are just picking and choosing.
Mhm.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to this last episode of the Titus Podcast. Thanks for listening. It's been great. We will try to figure out how to get a recording on an iPhone from Alligator Auschwitz. I'm Christopher Titus, and we're going to Florida.
They were on tour. They were coming here on tour. Wow. So he canceled their tour.
What a coward. What a fucking pussy. Are you kidding me?
The band's name is Bob Villain. Super sweet.
Oh,
Get it?
Yeah.
Bob Villain.
the fact that Trump went golfing instead of showing up to the funeral
Of
of the assassinated
congressperson.
Yeah. Yeah, this is depressing.
It's not, man, it's like we lost all of the goodness that in the last few years. This man has drained the morality and the goodness from this country. He has drained everything that made us, because there was a day when we were the best. There was a day when we gave other countries the most. There was a day when we made sure that other countries had the food they needed. I remember when George Bush, even Republicans were like, we need to stop AIDS. And he got behind it, and Bono got involved, and W and Clinton worked together. I remember when people were starving in Africa, we responded. And now this motherfucker comes in, and I don't understand why this group of rich people, because when you look at the Carnegies and the Mellons, and you look at the Rockefellers, they built libraries and things. Now they did it because the tax rate at the time for billionaires was like 90%, but that worked. During Eisenhower too, it worked. Because they became heroes in some ways. And because of that, we had a crazy middle class. And now, someone pointed out recently, and I've been hearing it a couple of times, I listened to MSNBC, and they've been playing this one piece where they were talking about how the wealth tax, the death tax, like when wealthy people die, they're taxed at like 40%. Well, and I used to think, and my dad bitched about it and it's only for 1/10 of 1% of the top 1%. It's only for people that are worth like $50 million, unspendable amount of money, right? And so if you got $10 million, you earned it your life, whatever, $15 million, whatever, and you die, you have to pay the government 7 of it, right? And that puts the money back in the system, and we go around again.
Yeah,
and we go around again. That's how society continues. What people don't quite figure out is this math thing. Is like, okay, if you don't do that, what ends up happening is all the wealth gets stacked up to the fucking 10 people that currently have it. And then the rest of us are poor, and we're fighting each other for scraps while these motherfuckers live high.
That's North Korea.
Yeah, that's North Korea.
The
That's
leader
and Russia.
is
That's
fat, and they are starving to death.
It's Russia.
Here's the bill. Let's just give you the highlights of the bill.
Good. Let's do
There's
this.
a great article, op-ed, that this big, beautiful bill will end America's time as a great power. That this bill, like if China's leaders were sitting around trying to think of ways to undermine us,
they would write this.
This is exactly what they would have done. DOGE cuts to federal agencies responsible for scientific research, like National Science Foundation, NIH, already threatening America's hard-fought edge in fields like vaccine development, or AI, quantum computing. But this bill, more specifically, would more directly wreck the U.S. economy with a 25% cut to public R&D spending. Is set to reduce the GDP by an amount comparable to the decline during the Great Depression.
So guys, you see that, like, here, I go back to Trump being a Russian asset. Why would a man who is a billionaire in America want to fuck over America this bad? Right. The only reason would be is because somewhere else he's connected to something else. There's no reason for him to ruin the country. Do you know what this is going to do? What she just said, this is just part of it. All the technology that we invented, carbon fiber, whatever we invented, quantum, when Apple comes up with a computer chip that's 50 times faster, all that shit, he's cutting the funding to it. That's why Harvard is pissed off.
Well, that's next. Assault on higher education.
Because we We led the world in tech for decades.
Assault on higher education, including the likely illegal war against Harvard, is chipping away at one of America's key exports in the crown jewel of its education system, colleges and universities. Waves of mass deportations are already making people scared to come here.
Right. So we get no
friends that we know have received a do not travel advisory into
so
the United States.
So the brain trust we get. So we used to get the best people in the world would come to America to learn America. Because of that, we benefited from having the smartest people. Then we let them live here. So they became the best doctors. They became the best surgeons.
Started businesses here.
They started businesses. They became leaders in tech.
Things we could export.
And then
but also just them coming here, waves and waves and waves of students moving here.
Right.
I mean, that's a whole other part of immigration that is stopping.
He's
already blown a $12 billion hole in the U.S. tourism industry.
Yep, $12 billion. So now Disneyland, all these places that the world came to. The world came to our national parks. He sold those off.
Yes.
So the only thing I can think of when you look at the list of shit he's done, and the reason he's doing it fast is what's what Bannon said, flood the zone. There is no upside to it for America or Americans.
Like, does he know that the aliens are coming? Like they don't, they're just going to.
He eviscerated
cash in?
USAID, permanently closed on Monday. That will fatally undermine America's soft power, which was once considered one of the greatest advantages of U.S. foreign policy.
USAID.
It closed on Monday. They ordered it closed. Yeah, it's gone.
100% closed.
Gone.
Holy shit.
So all presidents before him thought that was one of our greatest advantages was soft power, that we helped other people in the world.
Let me explain this one more time. So do you understand that when we helped other countries, and here's the thing, we didn't just give money to other countries. Our farmers, we paid our farmers to grow billions of dollars of food. Then we packaged it up and we gave it to countries that needed our help. Now, those countries may have had a dictator. So because we helped them, we had guys that went in to help those people. 3 of those guys were CIA agents. They figured out what was going on in the country. Then we politically started to get it. Then we turned that country democratic. And then they became our allies. So now we had another power. That's why America has 600 bases around the world. So by fucking up USAID, you've now given China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, all these Saudi, all these fucking enemies of ours.
More territory.
Because now they're going to go in and they're going to be the soft power.
Yep.
And they're going to install the guy they want to run shit. So you've now fucked us up internationally too.
Clean energy technology has been one of the fastest growing sectors of the U.S. economy. This bill will cripple that. Hundreds of billions of cuts in solar and wind subsidies. Also, the Senate phased out a tax credit for electric vehicles, which will do untold damage to that industry. That phase out happens on September 30th. Drivers only have a few months to buy an EV now before the subsidy expires. Also, because of that, millions of jobs would disappear. Energy prices would increase. Over long-term, clean energy companies, manufacturers of batteries and wind turbines, computer chip makers, electric car parts, clean energy economy, are just going to relocate overseas because all the funding is cut. All the subsidies are cut.
So again, we've actually stopped all the influx of people that can invent new tech. We've actually stopped all the new tech, the research for the new tech. That means companies that build new shit aren't going to get the money to actually go to the next level. Then we've actually said that all the stuff that needs new tech, all this clean energy stuff, better solar panels, more efficient cars, hydrogen power, all of that shit is going away. The only fucking reason you would want to do this as an American president is because you were not working for America. You were working for another country.
Reduces food stamp benefits, which will increase poverty and do lasting damage to the poorest and most vulnerable.
Because Republicans kill Americans.
And then, of course, the death knell, $5 trillion in tax cuts that only benefit the wealthiest. They will cut $1 trillion from Medicaid. That would be an estimated 11.8 million will lose health insurance. Rural hospitals and nursing homes will close, and an unknown number of fellow citizens will die. 51,000
extra people a year will die because of this bill.
You now have more physically and mentally sick Americans. Speaking of which, he just cut all mental health benefits from schools.
What do you do to veterans? Look what he
the
did
veterans
to veterans.
Housing.
Gone.
Yeah.
So again, I want to point this out. The only reason an American president would do this is because he wasn't hired or working for America. Do you get that?
Putin.
Yeah, you working for a guy who you've known since 1987.
Literally chipping away at institutions and policies
that
have
made America great.
Yeah,
that made America great. Everything that made America great,
we
he
became
fucking
the
killed.
economic powerhouse over a long period of time. Did you hear them talking about on the news today on your way here about how long it would take to put it back together?
No.
To put Humpty Dumpty back together?
No. Like 2 decades.
At least.
Oh, fucking Christ.
They're saying at least. Because also you have to think all of these agencies now, if we did
Everybody
ever
left.
have an election,
They gotta
everyone's
find new
gone,
jobs.
and now it's filled with all these people that were drawn to that way of being and working. And it's just, and trying to rebuild USAID alone, let alone everything else that he's destroyed, the Department of Education.
It's already cracked and crumbled.
But listen, what would it serve you to make sure that you didn't just fuck over starving kids in a third world country? You fucked over American farmers.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You all these companies that started in America, the one thing we've always been about is innovation, whether it's Apple or whoever. So you got these startups that are doing whether it's wind turbines or better solar panels, whatever, trying to compete with China, who spends a fuck lot of money on this stuff. You cut all that money. All you're doing is hurting America. You're hurting us internationally. You're hurting us here. Why the fuck would you're hurting our GDP. Why would you do that? The only reason you would fucking do that is because you weren't working for America, because you were working for somebody fucking else. Why would you cut off all the people that were attacked? Why would you cut off today? There was they're saying Ukraine needs these missiles, these these not Scud missiles, Patriot missiles. They said, "No, we're not going to send you guys anymore." So that helps one person. Putin. That helps one person. So you've got this democratic country led by this comedian who's a badass, who's forged in this fucking war, became a badass. You're going to fuck him over to help Russia, the most evil fucking empire that we've ever had until Trump came in and Stephen Miller got some power. Why would you do that if you were the American president? Why would you fucking do that? The only reason you would fucking do that is because you work for somebody else.
But he's also, at heart, he's a racist guy. He's
His dad
not
was in
that
the KKK?
bright. He's a narcissist. He's
bright.
a fucking Machiavellian psychopath he's bought and paid by whoever will give him the most amount of money. So if Putin wants him to do a certain thing, you can get a couple messages into him. Done. That's easy.
And he's such an asshole. Do you remember when he sat next to you got to give Obama credit because Obama took like 50 showers after that. I remember he sat at the funeral with Obama. And,
yes.
And he was kissing Obama's ass and laughing with him. And I want to show that picture to people and go, remember how much you hated Obama? He talked shit about Obama. Look at this picture of Trump basically bowing to Obama while he sat next to him. The only reason that this works is because this guy's working for somebody else. I dread the next. I'm going to stop there. I was going to give it a time, but I dread the next. Guys, thanks for listening. Do me a favor. I spent a lot of time thinking about this stuff. We talk about it a lot, Ray and I, and think critically. Why? Why is this happening? What is he getting out of this? Because it's sure as fuck not helping anybody in this country. The only people it's helping is the guys that are like the money that you'll never get. I'll never get. It's helping the people that are worth $100 million.
Yep.
We're fucked. And now, 2 years ago today.
Better days.
These are better days, baby.
It was 4th of July. That was something good. When Biden was in charge. Remember when somebody had empathy and actual patriotism?
Still does.
Yeah.
I watched him at that funeral. I watched a couple speeches recently. He was on a little domestic flight and spent time and took pictures with all the staff. Obama. Put the music right here. Go ahead.
Oh, Obama? I thought you said Biden.
Sorry, Biden. Sorry, not
yeah,
Obama. Yeah. Obama too. Obama still a badass.
Yeah.
Biden too. I think Biden and Obama have basically settled on a bunker. And they are just they know what's coming. Yeah.
George Bush too. They're all buddies.
Yeah.
George Bush, his face at the inauguration.
Clinton, yeah.
When his eyebrow shot up.
Yeah, this is some weird shit. He said his first inauguration, that was some weird shit.
This time, 2 years ago, Biden hosted a 4th of July celebration for military and veteran families, caregivers, and survivors. He delivered remarks celebrating Independence Day and viewed the Independence fireworks. During the barbecue, he delivered remarks expressing gratitude for their service and emphasizing the importance of national unity. He noted that, quote, democracy is never guaranteed, and that, quote, every generation must fight to maintain it.
The Tree of Liberty has been refreshed.
We're about to fight again,
The
baby.
Tree of Liberty. The Tree of Liberty needs to be refreshed with the blood of tyrants and patriots.
That was Jimmy Swaggart died.
I don't understand why you make me do that every time.
Because they would have to play that in court for your hearing. That would be the evidence. With you doing it. Nobody would convict you. They'd be like,
Clearly, poor singing.
I love my attorney. My attorney is awesome.
Jimmy Swaggart died, a man that we probably have a lot
Mixed feelings at best?
No, could probably thank for a lot of the vitriol. He definitely tied in politics. He was the right-wing televangelist.
Yep.
He always spoke out against Catholics, Jews, and LGBTQ people. He actually had an album called What Shall the End Be? Is There Really a Curse on the Kennedy Family?
That was the
He
album?
started
First of all, terrible title.
really bad.
Really
they
long.
don't go together.
So he started the end game at the
But
end of days thing.
he had some thoughts about the Kennedys and the end of the world. So I don't know. You might remember also, I believe it was in '88, he did a snotty, tearful close-up. Like, oh God. I remember this. I was traumatized.
Now switch slowly right to Clint Eastwood.
We had three channels. I had to watch this.
What do you say? He goes something about his feeling. My lust.
Oh God.
My lust is so deep. You should have seen
Hold on.
the video's awesome.
Hold on. 3 years later, in 1991, he was pulled over in Los Angeles. I think it was speeding or something. And the person in the car next to him was later identified as a prostitute he had picked up for sex.
I can't believe it. I was speeding. I did not see the sign.
Yeah, but there's a hooker in the car.
I can't believe it. I was giving the girl a ride.
Two.
My hotel.
Why?
And I'm sorry my pants was down. Road cone.
No. Jimmy Swaggart does not say road cone. No. At one time was taking in $100 million. $100 million a year.
Tax-free.
Tax-free. Yep. And Donald Trump just truthed, even though it's really tweeting. He called him our longest serving televangelist.
I can't believe Trump likes me. Even I'm not that big of an asshole.
Yes, you are.
I am.
You're 100%.
I'm so sorry for the lust in my heart for that hooker.
He said, I have sinned against you. I beg you to forgive me.
I've sinned against you.
I knew you wanted to do it.
I beg you to forgive me. Send that money too.
It was like this.
It was
like that. Do you remember it?
Yeah,
it was so traumatizing.
It's iconic. I remember it so clearly. That's why I can do it. But I remember it really clearly, because it was a big deal. Again, a news story that lasted for months.
Yeah.
That in today would have been over by 4 o'clock
this morning.
Well, 3 channels, right? UHF, VHF, and some antenna.
Guys, do me a favor. You guys keep screaming sanity, and do me a favor. Do some critical thinking. Sit down with your computer at night or your phone and look at what is happening. Because if you don't know what's going to happen, this is the problem. This is the problem when dictator. What?
That sounded. Did you hear? Never mind.
What did I say?
It sounded. What's gonna happen?
If you guys don't know
what's gonna happen.
If you don't know what's gonna happen, guess what? It's gonna happen. You're gonna say, "What happened?" That's what's gonna happen. So I'm just saying, you guys got to think it through, because if you don't pay attention when it happens, you're not gonna have time to react. They're gonna have the upper hand. And when I say they, we know who they is. I have never seen our country like this. I used to build bike ramps and skateboard ramps and have a blast all the way through till 2000. Even Obama was like such a good president. Even W, when the financial crisis happened, it was like, okay, we're all going to come together. We're going to save GM and Chrysler. We're going to,
He's suing 15 justices in Maryland.
He's suing judges.
Yes, for saying that the immigrants should have due process. There's the DOJ has sued unprecedented lawsuit, an attack on the independent judiciary.
Do you remember said when he was blaming Biden, who was weaponizing the DOJ? Do you remember he said, he goes, I will never weaponize the DOJ, and the DOJ is filing lawsuits for him?
All 15 active and senior status judges in the U.S. District Court of Maryland, as well as the district's clerk of court.
He also got rid of the head of the Joint Chiefs. He also got rid of the head of the Navy. He also got rid of anybody who could actually get some people together and take them out. Just to be clear, that's what he did. Awesome. Guys, pay attention. Scream Sanity. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And again, our next episode will probably be from Alligator Auschwitz.
No.
From myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
I can be the only one. I can be the only one.
You guys, you're just so good at just like matches energy. Why? Because it's just.
Well, when are we building our bunker? What are we doing?
I can't live in a bunker. Where am I going
to her hair?
If you do one carry-on.
In Florida, in the swamp, her hair is going to look like hell.
It's going to go right down.
Her eyelash is just going to be for her.
What about my Dyson Airwrap? Is there a place to plug that in?
No, there's not.
No, FEMA's gone. No power. We're done.
FEMA, there's no power. And by the way, even the solar power that we could have used, we can't use that now. I give up.